Hey, how's it going? I know. Crazy hectic, right? Well, sit back and relax and welcome to the Mom and Pop Spot. Help me welcome my dad and the host of the show, St. Patrick.
So all my bananas in the pajamas, all my bears in the big blue house, and the ones looking for the blues clues. My father having tea times and my guardians doing their best. This is episode number 16 of the Mom and Pop Spot podcast. Today we'll be covering co-parenting. I have two parents who are very familiar to this topic. These moms are very loving but can be very emotionally crazy. And if you mess with their babies, I'm telling you, it comes to life. Please show love to Jazz and Jules to the show. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah. You guys excited? You guys nervous? How are we feeling?
Both.
Yeah. Where are you guys at? 1 to 10 mentally and emotionally.
Emotionally,
Yeah.
I'd say maybe are you talking about co-parenting?
No, just you was
Like
just you
in
in
general
general.
with
Yeah.
myself?
Yeah.
Maybe like a 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you?
What's the scale? Like 1 being bad, 10 being
Yeah.
good?
One being bad, 10 being
That's what I
yeah.
figured.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I'd say probably at a 10 right now.
Oh wow. Wow, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And before we discuss the main focal point, I have a question. Do you both allow your kids to sleep with you? You have any issues with that or anything?
Mine's are old.
Yeah.
So mine are still they're in their toddler stages right now. So my youngest daughter, she's really independent. She sleeps in her room all night.
Okay.
My oldest daughter, she's a little more emotional. I think that she's dealing with some things,
Right.
because of the transition.
Yeah.
So in the middle of the night, like she has to be by my side. She always
Yeah.
has to be with me. I have to be next to her to put her to sleep. So when she falls asleep, she'll fall asleep in her room. But
Right.
later on in the night, she'll come looking for me, upset, crying,
Yeah.
and I let her sleep with me the rest of the night.
Nice.
So I do let her, I
Yeah.
make sure she knows you have to sleep in your room, so she does fall asleep in there, but she does come back.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I like that security that you give your kids. You know
That
what I
they
mean?
know that they can come to you because they
Right.
feel comfortable and safe.
Yeah, but
That's
I
what
know
it is.
there's been some moms where they're just kind of getting backlashed because of the fact that they're like, I don't want my kids sleeping, and it's not a place. It's like, at times, allow that comfort to be for them. You know what I mean?
For me, it's just knowing that my kids find comfort with me. They feel
Right.
secure and safe with me.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me because maybe they don't feel comfortable where with the other parent,
Right.
and I know that can be a problem.
Yeah. And you're on the same page, Jules?
My kids are older.
Right.
So
But let's bring it back to when they were younger.
oh yeah, they would always come into the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, we would have like their baby crib mattresses.
Uh-huh.
They'd bring that in and we'd have it next to our bed.
Oh, okay.
So they wouldn't want to sleep in the same bed with us.
Yeah.
They'd want to just be in the same room. I guess it was more of like a security thing for them too.
Okay.
They were too scared they kind of like didn't want to have their own separate room to sleep in
Yeah.
for probably, I think my son was 8 and my daughter was like 6.
Yeah.
That's when they finally wanted to kind of get their independence. But when they
Yeah.
have nightmares, they would still come in our room and
Yeah.
want to be with us. So
I tried doing that with my parents, but they're like, we're not even together and you're 38. It's like, it's a little weird now, So, yeah. So not always is that a good thing, but I mean, for the little ones, for my babies, they can still sleep in our bed. How has parenting changed you from the time you were about to have your babies to like today?
I'd say that I've matured times a million.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, and I've always been really responsible and really mature. I've
Mhm.
always thought ahead of for example, I don't have a record. I've
Right.
always tried to be. I've always tried to do the better, make the better decisions.
Right.
And before I had kids, I you just think about yourself. You
Mhm.
don't really think about the time that you're going to sacrifice and the sleep that you're going to sacrifice and all the sacrifices you have to make. So
Right.
once I had my daughters, it you level up.
Yeah.
You level up times 10 and you learn that you have a whole nother person, for me times 2,
Right.
and I'm building them, so I mean, yeah, I just think I matured a lot
Yeah.
and became more responsible than I already was. Like, I may be only 24 years old,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like I'm like 30.
Oh, wow.
So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm a lot older,
Yeah.
just because of the maturity.
Where do you see yourself at, Jules?
I definitely was on the same page. Like
Yeah.
when I was younger, before kids, reckless,
Yeah.
careless, wasn't responsible really.
Yeah.
Whereas kids, because I had to raise both of them by myself for quite some time,
Yeah.
that really I had to grow up very quickly.
Okay.
And I made the decision to go back to college while they were still young, which it sucked having that time away from them,
Right.
but I knew in the end it was going to be worth it. So yeah, it matured me a lot
Yeah.
more than
And
I thought it would.
still, do you say it's still semi-chaotic now because their kids are older?
Oh yes.
Yeah. And like in what ways?
Hormones.
Yeah.
My son gets angry very easily,
Uh-huh.
whereas my daughter, she kind of like she's the same way. She'll be happy one minute and then
Right.
just sad and angry the next. But it's been a hard adjustment to deal with.
So are any of those characteristics, is that carried from you, or is just like, it's just learning curves that they're dealing with to today's times?
I'd say it carries on from both me and their dad.
Uh-huh.
I see a lot of my ex in my son,
Right.
how his behavior is,
Uh-huh.
and I see a lot of my daughter's behavior as me.
Okay.
So it's kind of, I don't know.
So it's a crazy, ball, I guess, in a sense, that's,
Yeah, that
being
and them
it's fun.
being influenced very easily now at their age
Yeah.
because of social media. They're
Social media is
very
crazy.
impressionable.
Right. It's a crazy weapon. Are you able to see that now because they're young, or like because of the fact that your kids are so little, are you able to see, that transpire as like how Jules, can see it now?
Like,
Emotional, outrages,
yeah,
temperaments that
definitely.
you have had, the baby daddies had.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Especially because my my youngest daughter, or not my youngest daughter, my oldest daughter, so whenever they come home,
Mm-hmm.
my oldest daughter will she'll act completely different.
Right.
She's more emotional, she freaks out. She has like these I guess you can call them anxiety attacks where she's just looking for me. She wants me to comfort her
Uh-huh.
because she's afraid. And like, not, I don't want to put a lot of business out there, but sometimes when she comes back, she'll tell me I can't sleep over there. I can't sleep over there. I want to
Right.
stay with my mommy. And so, you know, my oldest daughter, she's I don't want to say acting out, but she's giving signs.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter, she's not there yet. She doesn't know. She's just happy. She's
Right.
just happy to go see, their dad,
Yeah.
and then she comes back and she's fine. Um so I see those emotional outbursts. I see, like, and then because they live with me, when they come back, it takes like that first day or two to get them back into, okay, I'm safe, I'm
Right.
okay, I'm back with mom. Let's get back into routine. Mom has to work.
So kind of like a parent jet lag.
Yes,
Yeah.
like a parent jet lag.
Yeah.
So it's tough when they come back because I get emotional.
Yeah.
When I hear my oldest daughter telling me the things that she tells me, it's hard
Yeah.
because no mom wants to hear those things, or to see her throw the tantrums when I have to share
Right.
her. It's hard to see her have these fits, these tantrums,
Uh-huh.
but I have to abide by what I'm being ordered to do
Oh, okay.
because it's a court order. So
Yeah.
that's the hard part
And that's tough.
because they're little too. So
Right.
they can
And
just-
before we get more into this co-parenting, I want to take a quick commercial break. We got to go, and we're going to actually feed them during the break some baby food. So we'll be right back.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Aisha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
I wanted to discuss co-parenting. You both know the stresses, the overwhelming pressures, but to those that don't know, what is co-parenting?
To me, it's just two parents that aren't together raising
Uh-huh.
their child together amicably.
Okay.
That's the ideal
Yeah.
thing that I would think it is.
Yeah.
I agree. I think co-parenting is being civil, being a team for your kids to raise them, raise them right.
Right.
You're building adults. You're building adults. So I think it's two people coming together to work as a team.
Yeah. And how is co-parenting for the both of you?
Mine, I don't have one.
Yeah.
No court order, nothing. And it's not even me.
Yeah.
I wish I did have a co-parenting relationship with my ex, but he's made that very difficult.
Yeah. In what ways?
Well, he pretty much hasn't been in the picture
Mm-hmm.
for like years. My daughter was 2 weeks old when things had ended between us, so
Yeah.
he never saw her up
Wow.
until she was about 7.
Yeah.
She was about to be 7, and my son was like 9.
Uh-huh.
So they know my husband as their dad
Yeah.
because he's been around the picture.
Okay.
Whereas their biological dad, when we had to break the news that Jared wasn't their dad, they were
Uh-huh.
both shocked.
How did you break that ice to them?
It was unfortunate how I had to do it
Uh-huh.
because their dad actually had cancer.
Uh-huh.
He was diagnosed with cancer, so the possibility of him not being alive still,
Yeah.
that kind of made me push for him having a relationship with the kids again. And it ended because of trust. I
Yeah.
couldn't trust him.
How long did it last before you ended it?
Again, just I think it had to have been less than 6 months.
Oh wow, so it was that quick.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you able to discuss or disclose any possible trust issues that it may have, caused for people that, may be going through the same situation?
Mm-hmm. Well, since we don't have court ordered anything, we just became. I decided to come to an agreement with him,
Right.
letting him see his kids. So one weekend, he was supposed to be with them. When it came time to say goodnight to the kids, my daughter tells me, because I wanted to talk to their dad,
Uh-huh.
she said, "Oh, he left."
Wow.
Both the kids there at his grandma's, and it upset me.
Yeah.
So by the time that I went to go get them, the scary situation was that I was able to walk into the front door, just take the kids in the middle of the night,
Just walk out.
yeah, nobody said anything. Nobody texted me.
Uh-huh.
Their dad didn't even say anything. He didn't ask where the kids were. So
Wow. And that's scary because anybody could have easily have walked in, taken the kids, and then
yeah,
it would have totally been a devastating situation.
yeah. And
What do you both wish that people could do to sympathize for co-parenting? Because it's a different monster when you think about it.
For moms, I feel like not only are we underestimated, but I feel like not enough credit is usually given.
Mm-hmm.
People just always want to attack the moms for
Yeah.
certain things that they do, their parenting skills, and because we are the more emotional parent.
Right.
We are the ones with the bond with the
Definitely.
children. And so I feel like, for me as a mom in my situation, I feel like a lot of people don't understand with everything that I've ever gone through in my entire life, because I've had a really rocky life.
Yeah.
That people don't really understand like what I'm trying to accomplish when it comes to my kids. And
Right.
I'm not trying to be a pushover parent. Um, but I definitely feel like I have so much love and an affection to give my children. And um, I just want them to find safety and security
Right.
and feel comfortable with me. And, you know, I'm the softer parent. I don't know. I just want my kids to enjoy being with me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when they're older, they're gonna be able to speak. They're gonna be able to choose. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I want them to choose me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's all the kids. I mean, if you think about it, it's all we ask. Other kids is just to be happy, to be their
Yeah.
age. You know what I mean? Not have to worry about the stresses that
stress-free
we
life.
yeah,
Yeah.
and not just go through the stresses that we've gone through.
Mhm.
So we're always trying to better their pathway. In the next steps and stuff like that. What do you wish you would have known prior to becoming in the situations you guys are both in? Because you guys are both in very unique situations. What do you wish that you would have known personally prior, to these situations?
Um, I wish I would have known. With me, it comes down to financial,
Mm-hmm.
that financial aspect. Because being a single parent, doing it on your own is probably the most toughest thing you could ever probably do in a lifetime.
Yeah.
You're doing it, you're not only taking the role of a mother, but you're taking the role of a father. You're taking the role of everything. So now you're like the sole provider
Right.
until you find a partner, a new partner to fall in love with again. You're the only person doing a million things at once.
Yeah.
And it's hard doing it when funds are tight,
Yeah.
So I wish I would have known, ways to be a little more financially stable before.
What do you say to those that say it's not they kind of put the blame on, the moms to say like, well, you guys kind of chose these partners.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's a bunch of doo-doo
Yeah.
because it's not just us.
Yeah.
We fall in love. Women, like I said, we're the more emotional person. We fall in love. We think that, everything is clear skies and flowers and, all of that. And maybe it's the mom that's the one that's in the wrong or,
Right.
but whatever things happen. And I feel like it's their responsibility just as it is ours.
Hmm.
It's on both of us.
Yeah.
You're adults.
What would you like to add, Jules? 'Cause it looks like you wanted to say something.
yeah, I think it's a bunch of crap when they say that it's our fault.
Yeah.
No, because it's not. I had kids when I was like really young. I emotionally thought I was ready for a serious relationship and to be a parent. So I thought at the time that he was the one. But I was too naive.
Well, you were
And
young though too.
I
I'm
agree.
not making
I was
excuses,
naive.
but I
I
mean,
was
we're
I was not emotionally ready to be in a relationship and
yeah.
have kids.
Mhm.
But the reality set in once I found out and realized I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Holy crap, I have to grow up really quickly. What am I going to do? I don't even have a career yet.
Mhm.
So much went on in my mind and it freaked me out a lot.
Yeah. So what
lot.
message do you have for those that are going through this situation right now that are like thinking like, "Oh man, he is the one," and he's not?
Well, the thing is, if he is the one and he turns out not to be, it's not the end of the world if
Uh-huh.
things don't work out. It's a
Something that I've been told by one person in my life, and even though that person is probably an unhealthy person, I've taken some things from what they've told me.
Yeah.
That person said sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs to get to your prince.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's true.
I
You
agree
know,
agree with it.
I think that's very, very true. And you might think that he's the one, but you have to look at the bigger picture.
Right.
Just don't be so close-minded. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Don't be so
I agree
close-minded.
with that statement, true heartedly, because of the fact that you have to go through life experiences.
Mhm.
Those life experiences aren't going to get you to where you need to be unless you're going through them. It's just my
Right.
own personal belief.
Yeah.
Do your baby daddies have partners that they're involved with? And if so, how does this make you feel?
So for my situation,
Mhm.
I've heard and been told that my kid's father has a partner. I've never seen, never heard, never nothing.
Yeah.
It really doesn't bother me because I didn't disclose to my kid's father that
Right.
I had a partner. He kind of just had to find out. And the only reason I didn't disclose the information is because there was an order of protection in place,
Yeah.
for one, and for two, if that parent isn't gonna put the effort in and someone else is, then I don't owe anything to you.
Right.
I feel like I don't owe anything to you. So that's why I didn't tell him about my partner, but I don't know if I don't know. It doesn't bother me because I did,
Yeah.
and if he has a partner, I just hope that she gives them the love and care as well as I can. Because I know if there's one thing I know, nobody takes care of my children like me.
Uh-huh.
So
How are you guys reacting if someone else scolds or disciplines your kids?
no, I mean I'm okay with it, but
I'm
it
old
depends.
school, so I'm okay with it. If my kids
Yeah.
are being like little
I know when my
little-
kids are being bad,
yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. But it's like the physical part of it. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, I understand. I tell my family, like, I tell my sister or, some of my close friends, I'm like, if my daughters are being bad, you can yell at them. Some of my friends or some of my close family, I'll be like, you can
So you're
discipline
more
them, but
based on the level of discipline.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it just depends on the situation and what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them disciplining my kids, but I feel like if I'm there, no
Right.
one else should be disciplining my kids but me.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you're totally open, like spank my kids, like I'm good.
Well,
She's all,
it's just if
"Take
it's
'em."
my family, yeah,
Yeah.
if they're watching it. But luckily, because of the way that I've raised my kids, and I learned, I knew when I became a parent that I
Yeah.
did not want to discipline my kids the way that my parents had disciplined me,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew that I would never do that with my kids. I wouldn't discipline them that way, and because of that, they're very respectful.
Yeah.
They listen to the rules of wherever they're at, and they don't need to be disciplined. They
Yeah.
don't need to be yelled at or anything. And I'm super grateful. But once they're
When
at home, no.
to pick up on what you're saying, how were you disciplined when you were younger?
At the time, it felt like, well, my parents weren't in a good place with each other. So instead of taking their issues out with each other,
Yeah.
they unfortunately would take it out on the kids.
You guys, yeah.
Yeah, my dad had really big anger issues.
Uh-huh.
He physically abused my mom in front of us, and we would hear it. We would see the bruises on her. And yeah, it's just kind of how I grew up.
Very traumatic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I knew I would not do that. And my parents, they're not, because of the way they grew up too,
Right.
their family never says I love you. They weren't emotionally like there for them. They kind of just like brushed off feelings. Like you couldn't talk to your own parents about your feelings.
Yeah.
It's like taboo, I guess, because of the way I guess our culture is, because
Right.
that's how they grew up.
Yeah. So let me
Yeah.
ask you, so what are you doing to change the culture?
I tell my kids I love them every
Yeah.
day.
And if they do something bad, how are you what's your discipline look like in your house?
Basically taking away electronics. That's the big one,
Yeah.
because they do get on electronics a lot,
Yeah.
and it seems to work. And I kind of just let them know that what they did was upsetting or wrong,
Yeah.
and kind of just let them fester in their thoughts and kind of realize that what they did, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in trouble.
Uh-huh.
So I take discipline to that approach, and
Okay.
luckily, it works.
Yeah.
They don't
Oh.
have cell phones, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's a different story in my house, but that's
Yeah,
that's
me
a different
too.
it's
I'm
a,
like, I
yeah.
have younger kids.
That's another story for a different day. But what about you? What's going on in discipline in your house?
That's like the most hardest thing in my house because my kids are toddlers, and so I have a terrible two.
Yeah.
I have a terrible two. I'm my daughter, and then my other daughter, she's 3, so she's Miss I know it all, and I get to do what I want.
Yeah.
She takes more after her dad, and then my
Yeah.
younger one takes more after me, so she just gets mad and just whatever.
Yeah.
But discipline, it's complicated because, I turn off the TV and you have my younger daughter. She'll throw her fits. She throws her fits. So I used to like get upset and kind of get angry with her.
Yeah.
But now I'm just kind of like, okay, throw your fit. Like, go ahead. I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. You're not going to get your way. And then my oldest daughter, sometimes I put them in their room. I'm like, okay, you're going to timeout. And then my oldest daughter, she's so funny. She's like, I'm scared. And I'm like, why are you scared? Like, I'm not going to get mad. She's like, I don't want to go to timeout. She told me that the other day. And I was like, well, then you better listen or you're going to go to timeout.
Yeah.
But I've tried different things. I've tried doing, the corner timeout. I've tried putting them in their room timeout.
Yeah.
Turning off the TV. I don't take their toys unless it's like a single toy that they're fighting over.
Yeah.
Then I start taking the toys away, or my boyfriend, he'll take the toys away. But I try not to do the spanking until it's like, you're really not listening. This is really bad. You're acting really bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying different things to work on that. Of course, they're in that little terrible 3,
Threes
4,
and
5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it
so
really ever slows down.
It
It's
never
just,
ends.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
gotta just kind of transition it to make it work for
Right.
for your household and stuff like that.
hmm
How do you feel about parents who are out partying with their kids?
No.
God, no.
No.
Yeah.
I before I got into a relationship, I liked to go out because I didn't want to be home. I didn't want to be by myself necessarily.
Yeah.
And I never had that opportunity to like be hanging out with my friends because I
Right.
was always at home, either being a wife, or being a mother. And so before my relationship, I liked to go enjoy myself, have my free time when I didn't have my kids. But I always made sure my kids were okay if I did have them, that they were in a safe place. But most of the time it was when I didn't have my kids.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how a parent can do that because it's like, one, why would you want your kids to be out that late? Two, why do you want your kids seeing you in that kind of environment, intoxicated or whatever? Like, I try to be the level-headed parent. Like
Right.
always have a good, clear mind for them. So, I don't know. I don't agree with parents who can take their kids out.
Is there any age that changes though? Like,
I-
say they're 16, they're 18.
Oh
and
yeah,
now
of
they wanna-
course, because they're smart enough to know right from wrong.
Yeah.
They know to make smart decisions.
Yeah.
And if they're choosing not to, I think that's something on them.
Yeah. You're gonna add
Mhm.
something, Jules?
What does it say? Like, if my daughter's like 21 and she wants to go out and wants to invite me, that's probably when I would do that. But
At
Yeah.
21.
When
yeah,
they're
at
older.
21
Okay.
when they're oral.
Because the reason
Very
why I say
older.
16 is there was a situation that happened in Tucson, I believe, where the dad was okay, with the kid drinking at the kid was 16. The daughter was 16, and he was okay with the daughter drinking as long as she was at home. Well, he went to a concert with the mom, and the daughter went over to their best friend's house, and then they barely got to the concert, and they're getting a phone call that says your daughter's blacked out at our house.
Mm.
16 years old. And it was the best friend's family. I mean, where do you draw the line
Yeah.
at? Because the fact that you're allowing your kid to drink at home, she's thinking it's okay, but then she goes to best friend's house and she blacks out.
Yeah, that's crossing the line because, one, okay, if I allow you to do something in my household, that's in my household. But of course, I think it depends on the parents because all of us parents have different roles, different techniques and whatnot. So I think it just depends on them. But to me, that's not okay. If I'm allowing you to do something in my household, that's in my
Yeah.
household, not in another parent's household where you can jeopardize their
Yeah.
their image or
Right.
careers or whatever.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on parents leaving their kids at, their grandparents' house all weekend? Like they go out, they party, and they're like, grandma hasn't
Mm.
seen you, since last weekend, so we're gonna leave you there all weekend.
I think it depends. I think actually all weekend I would say no because I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
My kids sometimes they go over to their grandparents' house.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it's just a night.
Uh-huh.
I don't do that anymore. Now my kids are with me all the time.
Yeah.
But all weekend it's like, I don't know. For me as a parent, I want to take my kids out on the weekends.
Yeah.
I want to, take them to go see. I know right now we're in the holiday season, so I want
Right.
to go take them to see lights. I want to, go have a meal together out outside of my house. I want to, do different things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of us parents are working Monday through Friday,
Right.
or, we're working long hours. So I feel like weekends are important to spend with your family.
Right.
With me, I'm lucky that my kids have different sets of grandparents.
Uh-huh.
But when they were younger, no, I wouldn't leave them there
Yeah.
longer than a day, like, or even a few hours, just because it was my parents were offering to watch the kids
Yeah.
while I would go out and go to a movie or something. Like they wanted me
Yeah.
to kind of just have some fun, but I wouldn't take advantage of it and go to like clubs or something crazy.
Yeah.
My idea of fun was just going to the movies or maybe even just going shopping
Yeah.
without the kids, because they have to go everywhere with you.
They're
Yeah.
just so attached.
They do, and then they want everything in the store.
Yeah.
But
Would any of you guys join a mom's group, like to hang out, share personal experiences, or would you be opposed to it because you're afraid of being judged?
I'd be open to it.
I think
Yeah.
I'd be open to it too. Like, I think moms find comfort in knowing another mom is kind of on the same page as them,
Yeah.
or even just sharing like different things that may work for them, may
Right.
work for someone else. Like, if, we were to start talking about, oh, this is how we do something at home, and I try it at home and it works. Oh, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
moms should not be against each other. We should
Yeah.
be
Oh
together.
yeah, mom shaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
should
not
be a
fan of
team.
that.
Like, why mom shame? Because we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
We're all dealing with the same struggles,
Right.
So, I mean, I'd be open to. I think that'd be cool.
And you guys are very close to where you guys live at, so I mean, you guys
Yeah.
should link up hiking or
Yeah.
whatever the case is, whatever it is that you guys like to do.
Kid
So
activities.
yeah.
Kids, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I would love to hear your opinions on this. Billy Ray Cyrus is dating and soon to be married to a girl who is Miley's age. If you were Miley, what are you saying and thinking? Because Miley, I guess, is like upset about it.
Oh,
I mean, to each its own.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of weird
that is weird.
because it's like that's the age of your daughter. It's a little concerning.
Well, he's
It's
like, I
creepy.
think like 60,
Yeah,
and
that's
the girl's like
concerning.
23, something like that.
That's
Yeah.
like concerning to me
Yeah.
because it's like, why are you looking at a younger girl like that?
Yeah, I mean, could almost be, or even
I
could be
get
the
it.
grandpa.
She's of age. She is
Yeah.
of age, but you have a daughter
Yeah.
that age.
Yeah.
I think
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little. That's definitely a straining situation right there,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's kind of like as if you just got a sister or something,
Right.
Yeah.
not a stepmom.
Like, what
Your
if Miley's
stepmom's
Yeah.
the
thinking to
same
herself,
age.
was my dad looking at me like that? Like, not to
I mean-
say
Or
that
her
about
friends,
him,
or
but
her
or her
friends.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's weird. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
creepy.
And even the fact that too, it could be like dating the grandpa. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's just the whole situation is crazy. What are you doing if you're Miley's mom? What are you telling? I don't even know what to in that situation. Like, what are you saying? What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's
That's hard. I mean, I would not be upset with my daughters for being upset with him.
yeah.
I'd say I wouldn't necessarily say stay away, but
Well, she's old enough to form
yeah,
her own
she's
opinion
yeah,
without her
exactly. She
mom
can decide if she
influencing
doesn't
anything.
want to
Yeah.
be around him. I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't talk to my dad if he did something like that.
Yeah.
Like my daughter, whenever she sees her dad, her biological dad, she wants nothing to do with him, and it has nothing to do with me
Yeah.
even saying, because I never speak bad about him
Uh-huh.
in front of the kids.
I'm
They
the
kind of
same
just
way.
form their own opinion
Yeah.
Right.
after their experience with him and him not being like the dad that they were hoping for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, she's old enough to form her own opinion, so
Yeah.
that's what I would say if my daughter was like that in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with parental alienation?
Like, is it kind of just like giving the other parent like the cold shoulder? Is that what that?
Kind of like on the
Or
same.
like kind of
That's-
disappearing off.
Parental alienation is when like the parent is not allowing the other parent to see the kid. So it's like totally like making fights or
Oh.
whatever the case is. So that
Like
way,
using it as a like leverage. The kid
Right.
is leverage.
Pawn.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reason why I asked that is because a Kentucky mother calls the police on a father and makes up a story to try to get the police to take the child. Father went through the system the correct way and has a proper docs to support this. What should the penalty be for parents who alienate children from their parents?
I think it's wrong, but honestly, I don't.
They have to have a good reason to alienate
Mhm.
alienate the other parent. I mean, it's got to be trust issue, but I
Mhm.
don't know.
But
how
at the
to
same
take it.
time, it has nothing.
You
So
shouldn't be putting
whatever
the kid in the
happened
middle.
between the parents, that has
Mhm.
nothing to do with the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're innocent. They have no idea what's going on.
Uh-huh.
They just want love. They
Yeah.
just want attention. I don't know. I don't think it's right to alienate the parent. At the end of the day, if the parent is not there, it's gonna show for itself.
It really is.
My
And
my daughters are already showing, like I said, they show where they feel comfortable. They
Yeah.
show the kids are gonna speak for themselves.
and at times it's gonna backfire because the fact that, they're gonna be like, man,
Why'd you lie to me?
yeah,
Yeah.
or why are you being so mean to him? And then and
Mhm.
it kind of like victimizes, the other parent.
Mhm.
And then, it's I don't know, it's a crazy
It's
situation.
just creating so much unhealthy toxicity in the kid's life.
Right. I totally agree. What about this situation? Preteen girl in Washington decides to hide clothes in her school bag, and dad catches. He then decides to wear Daisy Dukes and short shirt. I think they call them the halter tops, right? Short shirts
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Crop
He-
Daisy Dukes?
No, the
Oh.
short shirt.
The
Oh,
halter
crop
tops,
tops.
crop
Crop
tops.
tops, yeah.
Yeah.
So he wears the Daisy Dukes and like in that type of shirt to school to pick her up. What are your thoughts and how are you reacting if this happened to you?
Honestly, I'm okay with how he did that.
I'm for it.
She should not. I don't think it's okay for girls to be dressing like that at such a young age.
Yeah. Have
I-
you guys ever been in a situation like that?
I have a situation.
Yeah.
I have a younger sister who kind of will try and act a little bit older than she is.
Yeah.
And I've always tried to be the bigger sister. Like, you're not gonna want to do this.
Yeah.
You're not gonna want to make these types of decisions. I'm gonna tell you why.
Uh-huh.
And I try and guide her down the better path.
Right.
Of course, she's old enough to know right and wrong.
Uh-huh.
Of course, she's gonna tell me, I know,
Yeah.
and still make the wrong decision. So I guess she's just gonna have to learn for herself. But I know that I at least did my job.
Yeah.
But I don't agree. I don't agree with girls doing that just because you're giving off the wrong image at a young age.
Yeah.
And I don't, something bad can come out of it.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
it's not a good situation.
And what about you, Jules? Have you been in a situation like that?
What, hiding clothes?
Uh-huh.
I would steal my mom's band t-shirts, so it wasn't anything like dressing provocatively.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mine wasn't bad.
Oh, okay.
But
Well-
if my daughter were to do that,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to react. I'm glad that she's not at that stage right now. Well, she
Uh-huh.
used to wear dresses.
Yeah.
Now she's at that stage where she just wants to wear baggy clothes and cover up.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to
That's-
wear
That's
anything
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
provocative, like
Yeah.
Billie Eilish style. There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's how she dresses.
Yeah. Shout out to Billie Eilish for doing that song.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changing the image for girls.
Oh yeah,
Right.
my daughter's a huge fan.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna know. Oh.
And you know what that means. It's now time for the no, the O, and the laugh. It's where this and every show we give out a random hack, fun fact, and message and joke. Today's hack for you little girl dolls. For all the nonsense they put on their hair, you can make them soft with fabric softener and water. Then the doll's hair is back to being semi-normal. Have you guys ever had your daughters, put stuff in their hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I also wanted to give out another, as the sickness is going around, there's so many different things that are going around. If your child is having trouble taking medicine, if you have to kind of trick them into taking medicine, play a game and have the child give medicine to another doll or toy, then you can give them the medicine next. And when you do give them the medicine, give them a popsicle or, some type of,
warning
juice,
treat.
something. Yeah. So that way it tricks their tongue. So that way they'll be comfortable in taking it. And the joke. Did you hear what happened to the superhero who loved to overwork out?
Mm-mm.
No? He was Thor.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. There we go. The delayed laugh, so I apologize. Yeah. And the message for today, especially for you two. Sorry, there it goes. I apologize. A little delay, I tell you. But the message for today, especially for you two. However the road becomes when you and your partner decide to go in separate directions, you become two separate parents trying to raise the same child. It's a difficult and rocky road to navigate at times. Don't attack the other parent or make it a competition. Remember, your child is trying to figure it out as you all are. At the end of the day, you have to be selfless and prioritizing. Just take it one step at a time. Do your best as you can, and you have to say it's not about us. Wish the other parent the best so your child can be good and succeed. So as we wrap up the show, I want to give a huge shout out for you guys taking the time out of your guys' busy day to be on the show. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, other mothers are going to be watching, or other parents are going to be watching, so they'll be able to connect and stuff like that. So I wanted to give you guys a huge shout out.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Always,
Yeah,
always.
I
And if at
enjoyed
any
it.
time, if you guys ever want to come back on, this show or other shows, whatever the case is, just let me know. So Jazz, where can they follow you at?
So I have Instagram, Facebook,
Uh-huh.
Snapchat.
Do you want to promote anything?
I know. I mean, I have a boyfriend who does music,
Uh-huh.
and then I also, I mean, I can do makeup and stuff like that. I used to
Uh-huh.
do weddings. Since I've had my kids, I've kind of like put everything off,
Yeah.
but I am trying to get back out there with, the things that I do.
So what's your tags that they can find you at if they
So my
wanted to do anything?
Instagram, it's JazzyJessica_98, I believe.
Is that on all streams?
No, my Facebook is just Jazzy Jessica.
Okay.
And then yeah, that's mostly the things that I'm on. So.
Okay. You want to shout out his stage name?
Yes, and then my boyfriend's music is LB Dubs.
Okay.
So you can look him up on all platforms. He has music on there.
Okay.
He even wrote a song about me.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. And actually, I'll have him on the show here pretty soon. So
Yeah.
I'll judge him to see if his music is good. So
You can be Sam
yeah,
and Cal.
I will be honest. Yes. So
Okay.
he'll be coming out here pretty soon. And my my co-host Jules. Actually, let me give you a round of applause before I switch over. Yeah.
Thank
And Jules,
you.
where can they find you at?
Facebook.
Mhm.
It's under Jules Valenzuela.
Okay.
Jules is spelled Julez, just because hiding in us, people say it Hulis.
Oh, that's
for
funny.
some dumb reason. I don't
Yeah.
know why. So there's that. And then Instagram, it's Jules Balance. So it's shortened.
Okay.
And then that's pretty much all I use.
Yeah.
Instagram.
You want
and
to
Facebook.
promote anything?
I got nothing.
Oh, okay. Other than your Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Let's hope for 3 more wins and then we're in.
Yeah. I just hope we just beat the Eagles. That's it. So, yeah.
This year's our year.
Who's your?
My year.
Oh,
My team.
we'll see. I mean, at least for AFC. Let's see. And as always, Mr. Habari Live himself, Mr. Dip, and Elijah Wealth for Generations Lee. Please like and follow them. Actually, let me do a round of applause for I'm all over the place. I made a few mistakes, so I apologize for everybody out there. But please like and follow Habari Live podcast, Habari Entertainment, and check out other shows on there like Habari Live, The Von Rebel Show, Socially Awkward and Uncomfortable, Wealth for Generation. So please also check out One Love on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated and make it a great day. We're out.